What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counter Punch Boxing News, and I have some new news, some hilarious news concerning Deontay Wilder and Muhammad Ali. We know last week, I believe it was last week, Malik Scott went on record and said that Deontay Wilder is 10 times more skillful than Muhammad Ali. He went on also to say that Deontay Wilder, or should I say, Muhammad Ali is one of the greatest fighters of all time. He was very magical in the ring, but it was the things that he beat outside the ring that truly got my attention. Deontay Wilder is the closest thing to that in this time. Okay, now, whoever put this, it was Muhammad Ali, right? It was a Muhammad Ali page. Obviously, it's not Muhammad Ali, but he said, hey, at Malik Scott, or Malik King Scott, I rose from the dead just to tell you to never compare me to that flamingo-legged bum again. It's crazy. It's hilarious because I wanted to share this with you guys because it's like if Muhammad Ali was still around, he probably would have said exactly that. Because if you really think about 2016, when Muhammad Ali passed, God bless the dead, you didn't hear of Deontay Wilder a lot. You didn't hear about him doing anything. You didn't hear about the Klitschko fight. And in fact, that was around the same time where his manager was like, no, we're not fighting Klitschko. We're not going after those big guys or those big fights. This is our baby champion. We're not going to rush him into these big fights like that. That's not going to happen. And it would be something that Muhammad Ali would say, honestly, that, hey, don't compare me to Wilder. And I think at this point, me counterpunching this, yeah, it's funny, all shits and giggles and everything like that. But if we were realistically trying to do that for Malik Scott, I think that would be way too premature right now to be comparing Deontay Wilder to Muhammad Ali. Why? Deontay Wilder, since we're going to go there, Deontay Wilder took his first loss. Deontay Wilder got quiet. He wasn't outspoken like Muhammad Ali was, especially when he lost. He didn't do the things Muhammad Ali did before he took that loss. He wasn't out 3 years because the government banned him from fighting. Deontay Wilder avoided fights that he's supposed to fight. He's supposed to fight Dillian White for the WBC. Instead, he said, hey, won't you fight Ortiz and I'll give you the shot? No, the sanctioning body president should have made that fight happen if he was worth a shit. And I'm talking about Mauricio Suleiman, which he is not, in my opinion. He is a corrupt politician that he protected Deontay Wilder almost high. He didn't fight the guy that he's supposed to fight or the people that he's supposed to fight. He talked up a unification fight. He denied contracts and still called that other guy, which is Anthony Joshua, a coward. And then instead, he fought guys that's been out of the ring for 3 years and they still drawed against him. And then later on, beat his ass. What else did he do besides beat a 40-year-old man? Not a damn thing. And when he got beat, right, if you want to go there, he stayed quiet like a fucking church mouse. A church field mouse. That's how he stayed. He stayed quiet. Okay? He didn't make up noise. He had minions doing it for him. Muhammad Ali didn't have nobody to talk for him. He didn't have to have Howard Cosell to talk on his behalf and hype his name up. And he sure didn't make any excuses with when Joe Frazier beat him in 1971. No, he did not. Right? Did he stay quiet like that? No, he was like, oh, no, he is how wrong he is. I'm ready to get back in that ring and I'm ready to show him what's going on. He wanted more of that. Wilder stayed quiet for fucking damn near a year. That was the beginning of the year. The 22nd of February is the beginning of the year, the second month in the year. We didn't hear shit from him really until around November. So you went from the second to the left. So for 9 months, I know 8 plus. For the people, as well, it's really 8. Okay? For 8+ months, damn near 9 months. He didn't say anything. So people thought maybe something was wrong with him. Maybe he was, this or he was that. He was too quiet because that's normally not how Deontay Wilder is. Okay? How he was an outspoken person saying, I dare somebody to shut me up. Well, somebody did. And his name is Tyson Fury, and he shuts you up. Counterpunch. So, as of now, until this third fight gets done, he has to beat Tyson Fury to even talk about being compared. But he's already not comparable to Muhammad Ali because he did nothing like Muhammad Ali did. Muhammad Ali didn't make any fucking excuses of why he got beat by Joe Frazier. He didn't talk about the gloves or the trainer and the this and the that. And he didn't talk about none of that shit. Crabs in the barrel and racism and white privilege and all that bullshit. It was enough of that at the time. It was enough white privilege at the time. It was enough racism at the time. It was enough discrimination at the time. Yeah, he talked about that, but he didn't talk about that when you compared to why he didn't win a fight. Come on, man. That's what I'm talking about. That's the same shit I'm talking about right there. So before Malik Scott could compare Deontay Wilder for the closest thing to it. Why? Because you hollered to this day. That's why. Because our people been fighting for 400 years to this day. That's all you had to say. I mean, what was that? What else did you add to that? You know what I mean? And you were mad at Radio Raheem because he asked you a question because he wanted you to get it out there and you blew up on him like you were insulted of what he asked you or how he asked you. See, Tyson Fury had no problem talking about how his people were persecuted. And then what it was, Wilder didn't like Tyson Fury coming over here talking about other problems that had something to do with other places. That angered him. He wanted hate because it was already, Tyson Fury was already getting more steam than him. Okay, backstory. See, Tyson Fury was already hyping that fight up probably more than Deontay Wilder was. So when he came over here with his own problems, Wilder didn't like that. That didn't make him a fucking a civil rights leader. It didn't. It just made him somebody that got jealous because that guy was starting to steal his steam. That's what it was. And he was afraid that this guy's going to take over the show talking about the problems in his own country. That's why he said, I don't want no foreigner coming over here and talking about his own problems, right? That's what that was about. That was not because like Muhammad Ali was talking about persecution and draft and all that crazy shit that was going on in the 60s. It had no comparison. So I'm tired of people saying, well, Deontay Wilder's the closest thing to Muhammad Ali. No, he's not. So this might have seemed funny, but that's exactly what Muhammad Ali would think about, I imagine, if people tried to compare Deontay Wilder to that, especially after he got his ass whooped like that and made all those accusations and didn't even want to come forth with saying that he believed in him right away. But anyway, I was just sharing that with you guys. You guys tell me what you think. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.